Hello and welcome to Encore, our daily roundup of arts and culture. Coming up on today's show, we meet Tintin, Paris's fabled tattoo artist, and find out why stars like Jean-Paul Gaultier and Marc Jacobs want to get inked by him. We take a look at the French chef who'll be breaking out the bubbles now he's scored a third Michelin star. And Miami's newest gallery is in the news for an artistic performance that was more of a strop than a stunt. First though, let's go and meet our guest. Hi Tintin, thanks for being with us.
Hi.
Well, we're going to talk about your International Tattoo Fair in just a minute, but we're starting off with some news from the gastronomical world here, food in Paris. I'm sure as a Parisian you celebrate with champagne, but have you ever eaten a dish with champagne in it?
Oh yeah, of course I did.
Yeah? What was it?
You can do like a choucroute with champagne.
Ah, now that's probably something that Arnaud Lallemand knows about. Maybe you'll get some inspiration from this report. The champagne's flowing at the Assiette Champenoise restaurant this week after chef Arnaud Lallemand was awarded a third Michelin star. Getting hold of a vintage bottle of bubbles shouldn't be a problem. The family-run restaurant is in the Champagne region and features 450 different types of the sparkling wine on its menu. Julia Seeger has this report.
In his restaurant, l'Assiette Champenoise, Arnaud Lallemand turns every dish into a piece of art. Each ingredient is meticulously selected, seasoned and cooked. He says fine cuisine is about understanding the story behind each dish. The story of a farmer, a fisherman, or a wine grower who shares his passion for produce of outstanding quality. The secret to his success also lies in one-star ingredient.
Our food goes well with all the champagne from the Champagne region. We make dishes that work well with champagne, which is very important as it is served at every service, with every course and for whichever customer that wants it.
Lallemand grew up watching his father cook. His parents founded the restaurant near Reims in 1975, the year he was born. After his father passed away in 2002, he took over the family business. Today, his award-winning menu comes at a price. Lunch on a weekday costs between 68 and 198 euros. The signature dish is langoustine, and he doesn't let any of it go to waste.
This dressing is made with langoustine leftovers. It's always very important. In a langoustine, the entrails are in the head, inside the head, and that's what we use to make the dressing. We use the claws to make the crustacean sauce, which is here on the side, so every part of this langoustine really is there on the plate.
Arnaud Lallemand is in charge of 70 chefs and has already been showered with several awards.
Now, this weekend, Paris will be hosting the World Tattoo Fair with music performances, competitions, and of course the very best in body art. Now, Tintin, you were one of the founders of this show, this fair. Why did you feel the need to do a get-together for tattoo artists?
Yeah, because Paris is like such a major city, and it misses like a great show, like an international show. And I have the opportunity to know all the best artists in the world since I'm doing this since 30 years. I'm a tattoo artist, so I've been traveling around and know them all. So I had the connection to do it like pretty easily. So I did it.
So it's an opportunity to hang out as well.
Yeah. Well,
let's take a look at this clip to see what's in store.
But if you continue to burn out the hope, we gotta burn down the canefields. If you continue to burn out the hope, we gotta burn down the canefields. We don't trouble your bananas, we don't trouble your corn.
Now, Tintin, you've done thousands and thousands of tattoos. What would you say is your signature? How do we recognise one of your tattoos?
I'm pretty much specialist into like realism, like doing portraits and all kinds of picture reproductions. And I'm also doing like a Japanese style.
Now, you've talked before in the past about how you got inked at a very young age and then you were hooked and you've had loads of tattoos since. Do you have one that's particularly memorable or significant for you?
I guess like all of them are memorable, you know. I don't have like a specific one, you know. They all got like an history, so it would be long to explain you.
Do you have any plans for any more?
Why not? But like mostly I'm doing some, you know, so I don't have to, I don't need like the ink that much, you know, like some tattoo fans would. because I'm doing some. So that I guess it's why I don't get that much. But I got like full back piece and legs and plenty on my arms. So I got pretty much everywhere.
So you've got enough to be going on with just
yeah,
here?
Well, I do one once in a while where I got a crush on some artist, but that's it. You know, I don't really need it anymore that much as I used to.
And you go to your friends, I should imagine, to get one.
Sure, of course, I know them all. I know the best ones, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I should imagine that after it's been 30 years, like you said, in the business, you've seen some fashions and some trends come and go. I mean, do people follow fashion when they get a tattoo, or do they have classic ideas?
Unfortunately, some of them follow fashion, but as I always say, you know, fashion and tattoo is pretty much like the opposite, because tattoos are here to last, you know, and fashion is here just for a period and is here to change. So it's pretty much like a paradox. But otherwise, yeah, people doing fashion for designs, you know. So there's periods that they all do the same designs. So like a few years ago, it was like little stars. So now it's like the infinite logo and some feathers, and you know, it's like unfortunately it's like that, you know, but that's the way it is.
So what's big for 2014 in the world of tattoos?
Yeah, it's like this flower, you blow on it, you know, it goes in the air and it finishes into birds. So many girls want the same tattoo at the moment, and it's gonna last for a moment.
Okay, that's interesting to know. Now, you're also involved in an exhibition at the Quai Branly here in Paris that's going to take place in the spring. That's more of an anthropological look at the history of body art around the world and throughout the ages. Now, in the past, it was always associated with rebels and outsiders, but now it's become quite mainstream to have a tattoo. You see the guy in the street, ordinary working people. Do you think tattoos have lost their edge?
It's like that. I mean, it's just like some famous artist, singer, or actors just have to get a tattoo, and then it become like fashionable and acceptable for the society. So, but like back in the old days, there were also kings and politicians with tattoos as well. They were just like showing it like a little less than today. And today, when you go on the beach, you can see like tattoos on anybody. So. Yeah, it changed quite a lot. It's not like a major figure of a rebel or whatever. You know, it's like pretty much for anyone. But anyone is showing it more than before. That's the biggest difference. Yeah,
they're certainly more public. But there are places where there's still a controversy attached to tattoos. For example, in Japan, there's this association with the Yakuza and criminality. Yeah. And tattoos are actually prohibited in some public places in Japan. How do your Japanese colleagues get around that and people who have tattoos?
It's like that in Japan. It's one of the last countries in the world where the public baths, you can go with tattoos, but it's changing over there too. You got like street shops and young punk rockers with tattoos, you know, so it's less associated to Yakuza than before. But yeah, it's one old-fashioned country too, you know, so there's still some rules like lasting like a little too long. It's going to change sooner or later.
Now, one country that's pretty open about tattoos is the US. I believe you've gone to the US quite a lot to tattoo people. What about Miami? What's the tattoo scene like there?
Yeah, it's a big scene over there. Like it's a hot place, you know. So people showing off their bodies. So yeah, of course, there's plenty of good artists. There's a major TV reality show coming from Miami. So yeah, there's a lot of tattoos, but it's not bigger than anywhere in the world, or New York, or LA, or Frisco, or Paris. You know, it's pretty major anywhere in the world, except maybe in North Korea.
Indeed. Well, now, staying with Miami, but going from body art to more institutionalized pieces, the sort that you might find in a gallery, for example, illustration, installations and sculpture are all to be found at Miami's new contemporary art space. The city's Perez Art Museum opened in December, and it made headlines around the world when a visitor destroyed a piece made by the Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. He was saying that there weren't enough local artists on display. William Edwards tells us more.
This is the new face of Miami's art scene. Opened to the public in December, the Perez Art Museum Miami was designed by Herzog and de Meuron, the architects who created Beijing's Olympic Stadium and the Tate Modern Art Gallery in London.
One of the things you see with this building is a wonderful mixture of outdoor and indoor spaces. The building provides a lot of shade, you know, in this tropical climate, and a lot of social areas for people to hang out.
Inside, space is devoted to artists from the Caribbean and Latin America, with a particular focus on Cuba. But the gallery has global ambitions, shown by its sizable exhibition of works by contemporary Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. Already known for the annual Art Basel Miami Beach event, until now the city didn't have a museum to match its artistic reputation.
Miami has really been missing very strong, large institutions. So, I mean, this is definitely sort of a kind of the culmination of a lot of interests in the arts and a sense of that the city needed a more formal institution to present art.
The gallery has garnered generally positive reviews from the art world, while locals have also welcomed this new addition to Miami's attractions.
As an art educator, I believe that this museum is incorporating a lot of different kinds of contemporary art, not just one kind, not just the avant-garde. And it includes literature, there's typography, there's sculpture, there's painting.
I loved it. This is not a cultural wasteland, and I can hold my head up high and say I live in Miami and we now will have a wonderful building.
But the museum isn't without its critics. A Miami painter recently hit the headlines when he smashed one of the gallery's Ai Weiwei vases. He said he was protesting against a lack of local works in his city's flagship exhibition space.
And finally, some sad news from the world of cinema. Actor and director Harold Ramis died on Monday at his home near Chicago. He was 69. Ramis found fame in the 1984 blockbuster Ghostbusters, going on to direct the critically acclaimed comedy Groundhog Day in 1993. Now, we'll take a look back at some of his best-loved work in just a second, but I'd like to thank you, Tintin, for being with us.
Thanks to you.
And thank you at home for watching. See you next time.
Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead.
Stick. Hold! Get him up!